Why do Republicans think that "Merry Christmas" offends people? I think it stems from retailers who had employees curb people saying Merry Christmas and switched to Happy Holidays years ago to include everyone. Because that's what they were told. Center-left atheist checking in, and I have zero problem saying or hearing Merry Christmas. They believe there is some war on Christmas by liberals, and that they want to somehow restrict people from doing things like saying Merry Christmas or decorating for the holiday. Meanwhile, Christmas has swallowed Thanksgiving and is now going after Halloween. It's just one of the hundreds of items in their recreational manufactured outrage collection. It is because they are offended when someone else chooses to use a more inclusive greeting like Happy Holidays, or when an employer requires their employees to do so when in a work environment, because they feel that no one else is allowed to celebrate a different holiday around this time of year, and they hate any acknowledgement of anything other than a literal Christian Christmas. To such people, December is only allowed to be about Christmas. They also like to act like anyone anywhere ever actually made it illegal or prohibited for anyone to say Merry Christmas. Theirs is the only truth and you will accept it or else. And if you don't, they are the victim of your intolerance. Quote, one of their primary attack strategies is inventing their own persecution. So they pretend harmless things are actually attacks on them so they can play the poor victims. Because Fox News told them we go crazy when we hear it. In reality, it's BC stores started saying Happy Holidays BC. There's also Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and the conserves would prefer everyone say Merry Xmas only. They're afraid acknowledging that there's other holidays because then Jeebus is not the only super duper one and only one deity. It's ultimately a way to get people to reject acceptance of others who don't believe in their blue-eyed machine gun wielding American Jesus. There's literally multiple holidays around this time of year. It's just easier to say Happy Holidays. They don't. It's just another political ploy. It's easier to address their dumb constituents with an issue like that instead of talking about price gouging in healthcare and how they do nothing to prevent it. Good old Bill O'Reilly. Almost 20 years ago now he started spewing that on talk radio. It originally had to do with employees saying Merry Christmas and were asked to use Happy Holidays while at work because OT everyone celebrates Christmas. This was a brutal first strike in the war on Christmas. It has waged in the minds of conservatives ever since. It's very dumb. I'm Muslim American and say both Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas. I don't get offended if someone says either to me. It's a friendly greeting. Well, Google can help with this. I'm not picking a side. To those blaming Fox, all networks have been feeding this fire for quite some time. I'm old. Like I remember when CNN launched. Those who think they can remember when it started are wrong. Well, unless you are around 120 years old. So to answer your question, a lazy Google search shows that in 1912 a few groups of Jewish leaders opposed the teaching of Christianity in schools and wanted references of Jesus removed from Christmas exercises in school. I'm sure it started before this, but this is the earliest reference I have come across in my 5-minute Google search. In 1921, Henry Ford wrote and published some pamphlets accusing Jews of trying to abolish Christmas in public places. So this is nothing new. This is just new to you as you become aware of it. It wasn't a political issue. It was a religion issue. I know liberals and Democrats that are just as religious as Republicans. Just as I know some in all three parties that are atheist. Problem is we can't get along and have to find fault with everybody and pick a side instead of acceptance. My aunt threw a hissy fit at me last year because I told her Merry Xmas instead of Merry Christmas. She's not even Christian, but argued that Xmas takes the Christ out of Christmas. Happy holidays really is the safest bet with anyone, because the Christians and their sympathizers will be offended regardless. I'm not American, but it's common to say, happy, pleasant holidays, here before Christmas because most of us only visit our close family until the end of the year and don't expect to really meet or talk to anyone else, and it's just too long to say, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, to literally everyone all the time. The term, Happy Holidays, has been around forever. It's a term used for the season, much like season's greetings. That is supposed to include Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's and anything else you may celebrate. Fox decided it meant people didn't like Merry Christmas because it suited their agenda. They hate inclusion. They actually have no legitimate grievances. So all they have are straw man arguments. And when that inevitably doesn't work, they go to whataboutism. And then, when that doesn't work, they just start screaming and calling you names. Persecution fetish. I remember the feigned assault on Christmas rants several years ago. Not sure if it's still going on. This type of outrage, I don't believe has roots in any actual liberal concern. I'm pretty left and never cared that much about people enjoying or not enjoying the holiday. My reasoning: it's not about trends or concerted efforts. It's about unifying their loyal base with a message, making them feel involved in a cause and identifying a boogeyman to rage against. Now you have them pissed off and listening. Ratings go up and the population is divided. It's the long game of politics and entertainment news.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.